Hello, everyone. It's Dawn Duvall. I'm about 5 minutes early, so we'll get started here shortly. I'm going to turn on the comments and chatting and all that stuff and adjust my lighting. So just bear with me if you don't mind. I'm going to do some twisting on the lights without trying to kill the lights. Let's see, we want to move this up. I got a shine on my thing here, so let's see if we can adjust it. Move this guy over a little bit. Let's see. Let's see, we bring this down. I think that's good. All right. Well, we might have to just work with that until we move this thing out of the way. That's a little irritating, isn't it? All right. Let me bring in the chats. Let me bring in the chat. All right. I am broadcasting to my Facebook page as well as my YouTube channel. So welcome everyone. We will get started in about 6 minutes, 6 to 7 minutes. Let's see, what else do we need to do here? Just give me a few minutes. I'm just going to organize myself, make sure we have plenty of room for crafting. I don't like that light for some reason. Today it's turned a little differently than I've had it in the past. So I'm going to do some finagling, but that makes it darker, doesn't it? Hang on a minute. Let me see if I can move him over. Maybe that'll work. That might work better. Let me twist him. It's always, every day is something different, right? You never know. I think that should help. All right, I think that's good. Is that good lighting for you all? I think so. All right, I think that took away the spotlight on here. All right, so if you're out there in Facebook land or YouTube, make sure that you leave a comment. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you haven't already on YouTube, subscribed, please subscribe and hit that bell so that you'll be notified every time I upload a new video, which is usually once a week, sometimes twice a week. It just depends on how things fall. And if you're watching on Facebook, please leave a comment as well. And if you like what you see, please make sure you share. I'd greatly appreciate it. And we will get started here shortly. And let's see. We'll see what's happening. We got some new products that will be coming out in May that I'm going to work with today. And we'll start here in probably about 4 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes. And if you read my chat, I've got a statement up there that you can send stars to support my page. It's not anything, it doesn't cost you anything, but YouTube will, they'll, once you hit a certain amount, then they give you a few, I don't know if it's a few dollars or a few cents. I'm not sure what it is, but every little bit helps to keep me running my videos and creating and all that fun stuff. So if you can do that, I would greatly appreciate it. I'm in the process. I haven't started. I do have a membership on my YouTube channel. I'm going to be kind of renovating and updating that. I'll probably do that this weekend. I'm currently working on my newsletter, revamping that information. So that way, when you sign up for my newsletter, if you're not already on there, then it will have a better flow of information that you're going to receive once you sign up. And it doesn't show me live on my Facebook. So why is that? Let me refresh my phone. So hang on, let's go through here. We're going to come out of there and go back in. Hopefully I'm live. All right, let's see what we can do. Hit the channel button. Nope, it's not showing. Oh, there we go. Now we're live. Okay. I couldn't see it because it was, I had to refresh my page. Imagine that. All right. So that's on the whole pattern. All right. So we need, all right, there we go. Oh, I don't want my voice on there. Hang on. I got to turn my volume down. Okay. We're on mute on the phone. That way I can at least see what's going on. All righty. All right, we're going to, let's see, what time is it? It's 7:01. We're going to give it a couple more minutes and then we'll get started. We'll allow the a few stragglers that will straggle in. Hey, Karen, how are you? Yeah, we're leaving on the 22nd to go out west to some of the national parks. So, and I messed up when I read. I'm such a dork. I went in, and you probably saw this several months ago. I went in and asked everybody to do this two-step opt-in for my newsletter, just to try to weed out the spammers and the bots. And I made the mistake of sending it to the group of people that always or most likely open my email. So it went to my entire list. So, needless to say, there's quite a few people that have not opted back in. So, I'm working on that. And in addition to like a updating the welcome letter, because I think the one I had has been several years old, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm trying to update everything and get back up to date. So, anyways, so I'm doing that. I am going to probably won't be until this when we get back in May. I had a membership that kind of went inactive, and I'm going to revamp that. I think I'm going to bring that back out and see if people would be interested in that. So there's some things I'd like to do, but that's what I'm going to be working on. So I'm just trying to get everything kind of updated and all that fun stuff. Yes, I did. Didn't I tell you I got your card? Yes, I did. I thought you were on. Maybe you weren't on that night, but I told you how beautiful it was. It brought tears to my eyes. It's actually setting on. I have Riley's ashes. It came in a really beautiful burgundy box, and it's setting on. It's setting right next to her box, box. And I thought I told you that, but I really appreciate you took the time to make that. I was so when I first saw it, I saw her picture in the butterfly, and I said, oh, she's flying up to heaven. And I didn't even get the rainbow bridge until like the next day I looked at it. And I was like, oh my God, Karen drew the rainbow bridge and she's going over the rainbow bridge. It was so touching. And I really, really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Um, it's been a month. It doesn't seem like it, but it does. It does and it doesn't. I just can't believe it. Well, it was a month on the 5th. Um, but it's slow to heal, but it's okay. But thank you so much. I do appreciate it. You must have, maybe you came in later because I did thank everybody that sent me cards and all that stuff. But thank you. It was very beautiful. So your card is going to go in her montage once we get it done. I think I mentioned to y'all before, we our community 2 years ago we were in the centerfold of our magazine for therapy work at the Larson Medical Center. And it's a 2-page, right where the seam is, right where it opens in the middle of the magazine. So I had Chuck frame that, and I wanted to have him put a shelf underneath it. It's in the living room, and I wanted to put a shelf underneath it to put her ashes. And he made the comment, well, why don't we get her pictures? Because I've got 2 of them hanging in the bathroom. Oh, and I forgot to show you the one about dogs, but I'll do that next time. So I have 2 pictures. One of hers in a mermaid outfit, and the other one is a pencil drawing that we had an artist do when we lived in the villages. So we were going to kind of make a little shrine to Riley. I know that kind of sounds odd, but she was a special dog. So that's what we're going to do. And then I want to have a shelf there so I can put her ashes on it, and then I'll put her cards and everything. So, and then the therapy group, when I called to let them know she had passed, they sent her 10-year certificate of being a certified therapy dog, because we started in early 2015. So we've been doing this for 10 years, and she's touched hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of lives. That's all I can say. So, but anyways, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome, Judy. How are you doing? We're going to get started. It took 2 weeks for my Miami friend. Oh, no, I got it. And I apologize. I thought I had thanked you, but yes, it touched my heart, and it's on next to her ashes. So, okay, let's get started. We're going to work with, for those that are just joining, my name is Dawn Duvall, And I'm not on camera because I took a shower and I didn't feel like putting any makeup on. And I guess I could have showed my naked face, but I just didn't feel like it. So you're going to see my hands instead. Um, all right. So this evening, I had placed a small order for some of the new products that we can pre-order from the new catalog. Oh, and if Karen, let me know if you want a catalog or not. Just put yes or no in the comments. If you're not working with a demonstrator and you would like a catalog, let me know. Just put catalog in the comments and I will get in touch with you. I'll send you a link to fill out a Google form that will give me your address and everything. I think I ordered just a small supply, but I'm going to try to get those out within the next, hopefully get them packaged up and mail them out no later than Monday. That will give me time to get that done. Tomorrow I have a class. It's an all, well, I'm only teaching one session, not two. So anyways, but if you're not working with someone, I'd love to work with you and just leave them, just make a comment, um, catalog and I will send you one. I'll send you the form. And if you're not signed up for my newsletter and you'd like to receive the comings and goings of what takes place in the Shall We Stamp world and all our craziness, just put newsletter on in there as well. And I'll send you a link to sign up for the newsletter. Okay, so in the meantime, we're going to work with this Gallery Blooms. I love, love, love this set. I started working with it yesterday and I'm like, oh my God, because you get to color. And so look at these beautiful flowers here. I know not that we don't have enough flower stamps, but you know, every time you turn around, there's different flowers and it's just gorgeous. And I'll show you what we've done. We're going to make 2 cards using this set and they're going to be completely different. So anyways, and then look at the dies that it comes with. This is what I have to share with you. It comes with 13 dies. And look at this. It comes with the dies that will cut out all of these stamps right here. Okay, so these right here, they have the dies to cut those out. And then we've got all these extra little dies here and leaves and all that stuff. And then you've got this frame that it's one piece, but it cuts out. Isn't that clever? And then you get really it's 2 frames in one. And then there's some other greenery and leaves and stuff like that. So 13 Gallery Bloom dies, and there's only 5 of the photo, and this is photopolymer. And then I'm also working with the Simply Said. This did carry over from the catalog. So we're going to use the birthday wishes on this card, and then we're going to use just a note on the next card. So I am going to move all of this out of the way, and we're going to get started. We're going to do some coloring. Let me show you the card. I kind of got carried away, I think, with some leaves. I think I'm going to leave some of this stuff off, but isn't this gorgeous? I think I put too many leaves on here. So I think I'm not going to put this one and open up the flowers a little bit more, but I did add some of this. I think I'm going to take this big guy out. I think he's in the way. So this is on a piece of bubble bath, and it's cut at 4 1/4 by 11 inches. And then look what I did on the inside. Isn't that cute? And we're working with Petal Pink. Oh my goodness, what happened to, hang on a minute. I'm looking at my, oh, hang on. I got I got to get my, here we go. I've got my Stampin' Blends are mixed up with the next card. So anyways, that's on the inside. And I'll go ahead and show you. And I didn't bring the paper in here. This is a piece of the new Gallery Blooms paper. It's one of those scene papers, and it's gorgeous. It's got flowers, and it's 2-sided. This is one side, but some of them are 2-sided images that have, you know, like the trees and the lakes and all of that. I'll show it to you next time. I meant to bring it, and it's sitting in the other room. So this is what we're going to work with. So let me pull out my supplies. Now I went ahead and pre-cut because a lot of this had to be run through the die cut machine. And I didn't want to do that while I'm sitting here at a table that's going to be jiggling. So I went ahead and pre-cut, but I'm going to color. So you'll get to watch me color, just like you don't know how to do that, right? So, all right. So again, we're working with Bubble Bath, and it is 4 1/4 by 11, and we're gonna, it's already been scored. So I'm gonna fold that in half and give it a good burnish. And then we're going to use our gray granite, which is a color I don't use that often. And this is a 4 by 5 1/4 piece, and that's going to go on the front. Let me move this one over here. So we're going to put that one there. And then this is one of those pieces. This is cut down to, I did 3 7/8 by 5 1/8 because I just wanted a small amount of that gray showing. And then this is the back side. This is another one of those fields that the artist has done. I think you guys are going to look at this and the clouds. I mean, some of this paper is just stunning. I don't know. Let me see if I need to turn my light on if that helps. Does that help any for y'all? I don't know. We'll leave it on. If you need more light, let me know. I will adjust it. I turned it off over a little bit because it was leaving a great shine. But anyways, so we're gonna attach this, and I'm going to attach it to the gray piece. And I'm going to set this, let me do that now. And then I'm going to set this off to the side, and then I'm going to start coloring the flowers. And I just love this. I just love this set. I'm not sure, I get tired of seeing flowers all the time, but I don't know. These flowers, for whatever reason, kind of spoke to me. And I guess because the way they've got them designed. All right, so we're going to put this piece on here. And this is, I'm going to make sure these are right side up or upside down. I don't know if there's a difference. Maybe there is. Let me see. Might be. Oh, yeah, it looks like it's little butterflies. All right, and this is Lost Lagoon, or similar of the Lost Lagoon color. And that's what, so we're going to put that right on there. I think it's Lost Lagoon. All right, so look at that. Isn't that pretty? All right, so there's that. Now I'm going to attach this later because I'm going to do my coloring, and then we're going to add some stuff. And I need to get my dimensionals. So let me grab those because we're going to do some popping up here. All right, so that frame that I was telling you about, I didn't bring in the other one, but what I did is this is the inside of that frame, the smaller one that I showed you. And then I ran it through one of our leafy embossing folders just to give it some texture. So we're going to put some dimensionals on the back of this. So we're going to go ahead and add the dimensionals, and then I'll start doing some coloring. And if you have any questions, leave a comment, or if you have any statements or anything you want to say, I'll try to keep my eye on the comments. Hey, Linda, how are you? I've got my phone sitting off to the side so I can see that a little bit. Hey, Pam, how are you? I'll save that way I can watch you guys on my iPhone rather than trying to look at the computer screen. So, all right. So this one, we're going to go ahead and let me go ahead and take these little guys off. We're going to do that now. We'll go ahead and place the frame on this one part. Then we're going to color the flower, and then we're going to go ahead and build our flower garden, I guess, if you want to call it that. But I'm not going to add all the ones I have because I think, and this is the one, if y'all can't see it, right here. And I'm going to leave this one off. I think it's too much. Now I'm going to put this guy off to the side just to give it something different. So let me see, which way do I want my leaves? I think I want this one at the top because I got more at the top than at the bottom. And I think your eye is going to be drawn to that. So I'm going to place it towards the right, and you can put yours however you want to put them, right? Because it's going to be your cards. I'm going to move this out of the way just a little bit. All right. So is everything good with the view? Can you see? Hey, Janie, how are you? All right, so now we're going to come in. I'm going to put this off to the side, and this is Bubble Bath. If you're just joining us, I'm using Bubble Bath, and we're also using Pool Party for the leaves, and this is Summer Splash, and we're going to use the Summer Splash ink and Summer Splash for the coloring of the leaves and stuff. So just to let you know what we've got going on here. So these little guys we're going to add in just a few minutes. I'm going to bring in a little piece of paper, and we're going to color. So I'm going to color the bubble bath. You know what's funny is I don't use the bubble bath very much. And that sounds like I don't take a bath, but the markers, and you start coloring with them, and they're so vibrant and so bright. And it feels like my light is not giving enough light. Is it clear for y'all to see? It looks like it. Okay. All right. So I'm going to come in. This is my dark. I tend to start with my dark first and go in where the artist has made their marks for to do some highlighting. So I'm just going to go in and kind of mark over some of the areas that I think should be highlighted. That's just what I'm doing Believe me, I am not the expert when it comes to coloring. Now this is the inside, so I am going to color this in the dark bubble bath of the flower. And then I'm just going to come back and again, just draw some of these lines. I will probably come back again once I color it with a lighter color, only because sometimes that will take a little bit of the darkness away. So we'll come down here and we'll do the same thing. Again, I'm just going where the artist has made some of these like definitions, if you will, of the flower. And I have to make sure that I don't go in to the leaves because we're going to color those. So I'm just making, again, I'm just going to do some highlighting with the dark. All right, so there's the dark. I probably should have done one at a time, but that's all right. Now we're going to come in with the light bubble bath. I'm saying petal because we're using petal pink on the next card. All right, so I'm just going to come in and just start doing some coloring. And then again, I'm going to come back and touch up some of those areas that I put a little bit of highlights in there to kind of give it some definition here. So we're just, and I'm using the bigger tip. That way, because it's in a larger space, I feel like I can get in and do it a lot quicker. And I'm trying not to put a lot of pressure on it because I don't want my tip to go flat. So I'm just going to try to, and what I do is I just turn my marker a little bit just so that I don't keep it in the same position for it to kind of squashing out. And if you've been using our Stampin' Right, these Stampin' Blends, you'll notice that your tip, the big tip here, will start to use up all the ink, and then it kind of goes funkadelic, right? So, but you know, you always see which ones are your favorite because you always look and see, oh, I've used that one up, and you know, have to order some more. All right, so I think that's good. Now, so I want to come back because some of my definitions aren't. And I could add another color, but I really like the light pink to it. So, hey, Kathy, how are you? All right, so we're going to come back. And again, I'm just going to go back in here and just kind of add a little bit more depth to these areas here. I just want to make sure that this part right here kind of pops out. And again, just give some highlights. Just kind of coming in off the side. And hoping that shows up and it kind of does a pop there. And I think it does once you go back over it. Because once we, once we color it, right, it tends to kind of lose itself. And we'll just color this little guy, make that nice and dark. Yeah, let's see, we need a little one right there. I think that looks pretty good. What do y'all think? I think that looks good. That gives it some good definition, I think. Okay, all right. So, bring them on video. What does that mean, bring them on video? Okay. All right, now we're going to come in. I'm going to use my Summer Splash dark and light. So I'm going to start with the dark, and I'm going to go in, and I'm using the small tip. Oh, this is the light. Hang on, I'm going to do my dark. And, okay. All right, so we're going to come in and do some highlighting again for the leaves as well. So I'm just going to come in and do that and here, and then we're going to come in with the light and we'll do some coloring. I'm going to hold this guy down. I'm going to try to do some of these around the sides. All right, I think that's good. I don't think there's a whole lot we've got to do to them. All right, so now we'll come back and we'll just use our light color to get our leaves in. I just love these colors. And you know, this to me, of course, it's in the teal. To me, it's like the teal family, which is one of my turquoise teal colors. And it's just so bright and cheerful, I think. That's just my opinion. So this is our light. I'm just going to color in these leaves real quick. And then we'll put our card together. I'm not going to add all the stuff that I did before because I think it got a little too busy. All right, so we'll go in there and get this guy colored and do right here. I don't know why my husband's outside. He's outside making noise. I don't know what he's doing. And yet, oh no, I was thinking, I just thought, looking at, oh, I did. I'm looking at things thinking, oh, it didn't pop out, but this one didn't. Gotta pop that out. I'm thinking, oh, okay. I think we're good. What do you think on our leaves? I think I'm going to come back with the dark again and just do a few little touch-ups. Just again, just to give the vein a little bit of some depth to it. I'm just going to bring it around. Just a little bit of the highlights. All right, and we'll do that and do that. What do you think? I think that's good. All right, we don't need to do any more than that. Okay. All righty. So now we're going to move this out of the way. Now we're going to come in and we're going to add this to our frame. And then once I get this designed, then I'll attach it to the card front. Okay. All right. So I want y'all to be able to see this one. Yeah, it's inside. Okay. So I'm going to put a dimensional right in the center and maybe one. See, that's why I'm getting rid of this, because you can't see that flower right there. So I'm going to put a dimensional right at the top here. And I think, because I want it to lay, I think I like it laying over the frame a little bit, then down like that one. So I'm going to put a dimensional right below the frame. That way it will be at the same height. All right. And then this one will just glue it down. So I think that way it will just lay there. I'm not going to glue it. So I think that's good. I think that'll work. We'll put a little bit of adhesive right. Well, let's see. Let's put our dimensionals down. And then we'll add, take these off, and then we'll add the flower, and then we'll start building our beauty here. So I'm going to put this at an angle, and I've got my right there. So I'm going to lay that right below the frame. So that way it's even. I think that's good. I don't even think I need to glue that down, actually. Okay. This is one of the leaves that comes with the die. And this is in Pool Party. I am going to use this one. So we're going to put a little bit of glue on here, but I'm not going to use the other one. We're not going to use that one because it's too much. So we're going to put him off the side. We might use him later for something else. So I'm going to bring this one in, and I want to tuck it under that leaf right there. And I think I'm going to have him hanging over. Let's see. How do we want to do this? Let me see. How's that? Let's do that. I guess I need to put some, hang on a minute. Where did I put my glue? Let me put a little bit more adhesive right up here. Let's do that. Now these little guys pop. I don't know if they're supposed to, see how I don't know if they're supposed to pop. No, they don't pop out, but see how they open up? All right, so this one, we're going to go ahead and tuck him under. We're going to place that one right there. Okay. Now I've got 3 of these little guys here, and I'm going to take my tweezers so I can hold on to it. I'm going to put some glue, and then we're going to tuck these around. All right. I'm just going to put a few little dots, nothing major. And I'm going to put one. I want to put one. I think I'm going to put it right underneath and tuck him right near this flower. I think that will look pretty because it's where that leaf is too. So let's take that. Let's put him there. See if he'll glue down. There we go. All right. And then I'm going to do another one. We'll put him one towards the bottom because he looks kind of naked right there, doesn't he? But we're going to put our sentiment there and some twine. All right. Let me get some glue on here. And let's see. Where do we want to put this little guy? Let's tuck him under here. Why don't we do that? That way we've got some color. We'll just kind of glue him right there. He's kind of going at an angle. I don't know if we need the third one or not. Do we want one up here? Do we need one up there? What do y'all think? All right, let's do our sentiment first, and then we'll come back and I'm going to get my paper trimmer because we're going to cut this down. I'm going to hold back on this one. We'll see. Maybe we'll put him on the sentiment. Hopefully this is wide enough. Yeah, it is. Okay, so we're going to stamp. I'm going to make this a birthday card. And I'm going to use the Summer Splash ink. So we're going to move this up out of the way. And this is the gray granite, which is a color I hardly ever use. But let me see if we can stamp this without it being crooked. I think we did. Ah, that did pretty good, didn't it? All right, let me close up my ink pad because you know how that goes. All right, now I can move this out of the way. I'm going to put my things over there. All right, now we're going to bring in our paper trimmer, and I'm going to trim up And I could cut it with my hands, but I don't want to do that. So I'm going to make it into a banner, but we're going to make it kind of small. So I'm going to cut probably about right there. I think that'll work. It's not going to be much of a banner, but the banner tail, but that's what we're going to do. Put that over here for a minute. Sorry for reaching. I don't have a lot of space in here. Let's see if we can make a banner. I'm going to cut it real short. So if y'all can see, oh yeah, I'm looking at my phone and for whatever reason, it's throwing me off. Okay. So we're going to come over. I didn't quite get that centered, did I? I think I'm going to bring it back. And then we're going to cut this down over here. All right. That's how I make my banners. I just trim them. And I'm not worried if it's not perfect because I'm not one of those, it's got to be perfect girls. And we're going to put it right here to cover that. But the first thing we're going to do, if you notice, I've got a bunch of twine there. So this is going to get popped up on dimensionals. So let's go ahead and add our dimensionals to this anyways. And then we're going to lay some of that twine down and we're going to roll it up and then turn it around like a 8, number 8, like a whatever you call it, infinity. All right. So I'm just going to roll around. I got small hands. So I'm just going to try to roll it and then, whoops, cut that off. And then I'm going to stretch it out a little bit so I can get a little bit more room to it. And there we go. And then these little guys we're going to deal with that. I'm just going to twist it and then we're going to lay it down. And I need to get a glue dot. I'm going to lay it right about here. And that doesn't look like I did 4, does it? It looks like I only did 2, but that's all right. Let me, oh, you know what? Where are my, I don't have a glue dot. Okay, I thought I did. I was going to bring mine in from the other room, but you know what? That's okay. I'm going to do this. We're going to put a little bit of seal right there. That's going to hold it in place. Never forget your seal. Okay, so we're going to place that right there. And then this guy, we're gonna loop him around again because we've got a lot. So let's get these guys. See, I told you I'm not real good when it comes to looping. And I'm going to trim that off, so give me just a minute. But I'm going to try to open these up just a little bit so it looks like we've got some stuff going on here. So it doesn't look like they're all tied together. I'm trying to separate them a little bit. And let's see what happens. All right, there we go. And then we'll just, that one's already opened up. Okay, and then this one, let me get my paper scissors and not my paper, my ribbon scissors, and I'm going to trim these up a little bit. I think these tails are a little bit too long. It's covering up our, we'll just trim that down. There we go. Okay. All right. So I think that looks fine. And then we're going to put our sentiment over top of that. So I've kind of got it a little bit different than I did on that one. I do like the fact that it doesn't have all that extra green, that big pool party leaf. I think it opens up the flower. All right, so we're going to add our sentiment. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to lay it here. Do we need another leaf, do you think? Should I put one here? I think that's going to be too much. What do y'all think? Okay, we'll see. I'm going to wait and see what y'all think. I'm going to go ahead and add this to the front of the card, and then we'll do our sentiment. And if I need to add that piece of that other green leaf, I will. I just don't, I think I made it too busy on the first card that I made. I think I got excited. I got real excited when I was making that card. Okay, so that's going to go like that. So we'll get him up there. So we got a pink, a little bit of our gray showing. Okay, so what do y'all think? Okay, I will add you all to send you a link for the newsletter. All right, so let's go ahead. Now, if I put this over here, I'm going to put it down here. So let's move this out of the way a little bit. Now I've got that thing that's going to show. Hang on. I'm going to move this down just a tad because it's too far up. Hold on. I'm changing my mind. It's a little too far up for me. And I'm going to move it down because I want it to be where this sentiment is going to be. Let me get this on. Hang on. I'm going to try to get my paper, there we go. You know how the seal is. You got to get it moving. You don't get enough moving, it's not going to move. Okay. All right. So we're going to do that. Now let's place that right about here. Get that glue. There we go. I think that's going to be better. And then we're going to put this guy, separate these a little bit. And we'll put him, and that's actually going to kind of take away from that, isn't it? Why don't we do it like this? We'll put it on this. No, I really want it right here. Do y'all do this? Do y'all make all these different, oh my God, what are you going to do type things? Too many decisions to make. But I need to put it up here. This guy is going to have to go because he's going to get hidden. So we're gonna move him. Well, we're gonna just take him off. I'm gonna put the other one in there. All right, I'm gonna put him right here to hide that part of the bow. So I'm gonna put this right there. All right, so we're gonna do that. And then there's my other green flower. So we're gonna put him towards the top. How's that? That way he's not in the way. We'll put him right, because we do need a little bit of green right here. So why don't we tuck him right under? There we go. There we go. That looks good. Okay. Now the next thing we need to do is we have our piece of white, and we're going to stamp that real quick. And let me move that out of the way. We are going to, you know what? I need my stamp. What did I do with it? Hang on. I threw the stamp over here, and I need to get to the stamp. All right, we're going to take this corner one, and I'm going to stamp this, and we're going to do a quick coloring on the inside. So bear with me 1 second. Let me grab a block. Oh, you know what? I don't even think I brought a block big enough. Hold on a second. Let me grab it. I think I got another one over here. I kept thinking, I don't need a big block. Well, you know what? We're going to make it work. Let me find the biggest one here. I may end up having to use the stamp pad because that'll work. You know what? I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the back of my stamp pad or the top of it. That'll work. We're going to ink it up. We're going to put some black on it. I'm going to put the black on it first. I know y'all are going to think I'm crazy. Let's going to do it like this. We're just going to do it just like that because I forgot to bring a block to fit this one. So you got to improvise. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to put some black on this. Put that over there. Get away from my card. All right. And then we're going to ink in the corner. Now this one, I'm probably going to stamp a little bit off the corner, a little bit lower. I did it a little bit higher on that one. Let me see what we get in the corner. And we'll just stamp right there. Bet you've never seen anybody do that before, huh? Using their stamp pad. There we go. Look at that. See, it works perfectly. Okay, and then we're going to do a quick coloring, and I threw the little blends away, so give me a second while I grab those. I wasn't thinking I was going to color the inside. All right, so we're going to do a quick color. Same thing, just like what we did before, right? And what time is it? Are we good on time? Yeah, we're good. This is the dark, so we're just going to come in here. I'm going to do the insides, and again, do some of the highlights. We'll just do this pretty quickly. And this will just dress up the inside of our card, make it look nice and pretty. Whew, now I feel the air conditioner coming on, thank goodness. You know, when you're sitting under the lights, can you imagine what actors and actresses, wait a minute, let me get the big, all right, this is the light I'm coloring in. What they have to go through when they're under all the lights, oh my goodness. Okay, so we're just gonna do some quick coloring. Whoop, I didn't do that. I need to come back and do some, I didn't do the leaves. Do some little coloring. And the next card, you're going to really like the next one, I think. I hope you will. And, okay, let's see. That's a leaf. That's a leaf. And those are leaves. All right. So we'll come back with a little bit of the dark. And I just want to emphasize I didn't do any here. So let me just put, just to give it a little bit of depth here. You can see that I missed those, but that's all right. Come back in and do it. Color that again, color that again. There, I think that looks good. Much better. I don't know if that's a leaf or part of the flower. Huh. Let me see what I did on this. Let me look at the inside of my card. What did I do with that one? Must be part of the card. Oh, well. Okay. Now we're going to come in and we're going to just color our leaves again. This is the dark. Again, I'm just going to do the veins and put some little lines there. Aren't you glad that spring is here? And next thing you know, we'll be into summer, and those of us in the South in Florida will be complaining about how hot it is. And I know some of y'all are still having snow and cold weather and all that mess. we're having a cold spell. Tomorrow is going to be 50 when we wake up, but it's going to be a high of 82 in the Fort Myers area. So, all right. So we're just going to put in some of our green on our leaves. We're going to add that there. Hopefully that's part of a leaf. And we'll do this one. And that way we've dressed up the inside of our card. So whoever gets this card is going to love it. All right. So now, again, it just adds something to the inside. So let's go ahead and add this to the back. And then we'll move on to the next card. The next card is a very, I think it's a gorgeous card. All right, so there we go. We're going to put that on the inside. And look at that, how easy that is. Isn't that gorgeous? I do think it looks much better without that leaf there. All right, there's our first card. Let me get down here in the light. What do y'all think? Like that? Okay, we're going to move on to the next one. So let's put these off to the side for just a minute. We'll move them up there. Now we're going to come in and we are going to, let me show you the card. Let me clean off my ink, get this thing off of my ink pad before I forget. I'll leave it on there. Okay. All right, here's the next card that we're going to make. Now this one, we're using the same stamp, but we're just going to do a whole different color scheme. We are doing basic beige, and let me show you. Now this one, isn't that pretty? Can y'all see that? Okay, so this one, I'm using the textured woven paper as well as the die, the textured note dies. So this one, I use I use the largest die. And it's the one right here that's got the lines through it right there. So that's the one I used. And this is on basic beige. And we cut that out. And then I used part of the designer paper from that same suite. And you can see it's got like the basket on it. And then we're going to stamp this in, you know what? I think I did. I hope I did. Stamped in early espresso, and then we're using petal pink and soft seafoam. And then opened it up, and that's the inside of the card. Isn't that cute? It's just very simple, but really, really pretty. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. I have a feeling now that oh no, I did stamp it in early espresso. Whew, I was getting worried that I didn't do it that way. Okay. And then, which I didn't bring, but as I usually do, we'll decorate, put some designer paper here. And that way it just coordinates. And then we use up our designer paper so it's not sitting there and we're hoarding it. Okay. Okay. So basic beige, we're going to start with, let's move this guy up here out of the way. We'll put him right here where y'all can see him. Let me get to him where you can see him. Hang on a minute. Let me move this one out of the way. I'm going to pull my blends in because I need those. All right, so there's the card. I'll turn it at, I don't know why I'm having a hard time getting into the, hang on, let me adjust this. Maybe it's not because I don't have, there we go. All right, and we used early espresso for the ink. And then our seafoam paper, which I've already stamped and I've already cut all this stuff out. So this one's going to be pretty easy because we're just going to put it together. And just all we have to do is color and then stamp our sentiments. All right, so this is 4 1/4 by 11. I did not score this one, so I'm just going to fold it in half. And then we're just going to take, I'm going to hold it down, move it over, and then take my bone folder. Let's get this over here, get that out of the way. And we're going to take a bone folder and we're going to just give it a good crease. And I'm going to flip it over and do the same thing. Okay. And I think we're pretty good there. Yep. All right. Now we've got this piece here. Now this piece I cut the same size as a card base. So this is 5 1/2. Ooh, I got a little long there. Whoops, hang on. We got to cut that piece down. Hold on. Should be 5 1/2 by 4 1/4, right? So let me cut that down because it's not. All right, so move our flowers or leaves out of the way. Hang on a minute. This guy is a little too big for what we want. I think I did 4 1/2 actually. I did. I'm such a dork sometimes. All right, this is 4 1/4. That helps, doesn't it? Okay, make sure I got it at 5.5. Yeah, I did. Okay, that was the only thing I needed to change. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with me lately. My brain is, I don't know. Okay, I guess it's a sign of getting older. Okay, that's going to cover the entire card front. So we're going to go ahead and add this. And we're going to add our adhesive to that. And this is the back side of that paper. So that's a little bit more tamer, piece. So if you need that for something, that's a good piece to use too. And I'm going to lay this on here and then I'm going to pull it up so that I can start shifting my paper around and get it nice and even before my glue dries. And I like to bang it on the table to make sure it gets down there. Okay. Now, this is the next piece that we're going to add. So that's going to go down there. And we're going to stamp this first. So I'm going to use the dots. And I use this from the, oh, did I bring it in here? One of the stamp sets. I don't think I brought it. I think it's from, I'm not sure. It's the dots. And I honestly don't remember now. I was going to bring it and for some reason I didn't. I don't need that in here. I thought I brought it, but I didn't. Okay. So I'm just going to make, now if you have one of those, we have one of those background stamps that do like the words and stuff. If you did something like that in this bottom left quadrant here down in this area, I think that would look nice. I don't have any of those. So I'm just going to use, I'm making dots. So I'm just going to come in here and just randomly, I want it to be around my flower and we're going to color this. So I'm going to lay my flower like that. So I know I want my dots to go kind of in this area here. Okay. And I'm just going to just randomly stamp these so that we've got something behind it. So it's not sitting there looking like it's naked paper. And I'm just going to come in randomly stamping. And I'm just going to cover all of this up right here. It's going to be hidden in a sense, but we still want it to be seen, right? So I'm trying to turn the stamp a little bit so it doesn't look kind of wonky. And let's do a little bit down here. I'm going to go ahead and fill this in right there. And let's see what our flower, if I need to do anything else. I think that's going to be fine because we're going to add that and then we're going to have some other stuff. Let me put a little bit more down here. We'll bring it all the way to the bottom. And I'm just trying to do a little bit twisty, but it's dots. So, and I probably went too far, but that's okay. All right, sorry, we're going to lay it right there. Okay, we're going to do that. All right, let's go ahead and color, and then we'll start building our flower. So again, I actually, before I do that, I'm going to stamp my sentiment. And we're going to use Early Espresso. And this one's going to say just a note. And I'm going to do that before I even glue anything down. So that way I'll know where I need to place my flower because I'm going to put it up here on the right. You can put it into the left either way, but do that, stamp it before you place your flower. And I'm going to put that right about there. Okay. All right. So we've got that. Now I can move this out of the way. One less thing that we need to have on the table. And move this guy out of the way. Now I can play with this and figure out where I want it. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move it a little bit more straight up. And I think I did pop this up on dimensionals. All right. So before we do anything, let me get my pieces together. We're going to color. So let me bring in Petal Pink. And I'm using the light and the dark. And the leaves are going to be in the soft seafoam. Okay. So let me get my little scratch piece of paper. And we're going to put him on here. Move this out of the way. Hang on a minute. I got that tape right there. So I don't want it to stick. So let's do that. That'll be perfect. That way it holds it in place for me. All right. Okay. So we are using the dark. And again, I'm doing just like I did the other one. Try to get in here and do some highlighting. And again, I probably should do this after I color the light because this will probably show better. And again, I'm just going to come in, try to do some dark highlights, which I know I'm going to have to come back because I had to do that before. Because it kind of covers it up when you actually come back in and start coloring with the lighter color. All right, those are leaves. We want to make sure we don't hit any leaves here. I think we're good. All right, let's go with that for now. And then we'll come back and do some highlights. And then we're going to come in with the light petal. And I'm going to use the big tip so I can get in here and do the coloring. And this is a pretty, I really like the early espresso on this basic beige. You know, basic beige, I'm glad we have it, but it's, again, it's a color I don't use as often. I kind of tend to forget about it, and that's not good because he probably needs some love too, right? All right, so we're going to come in here, and I'll definitely, let's see, that's a leaf right there. So we're going to come here, and I know I didn't do any um, highlights there, so we'll come back and do some more highlights with the darker shade. And that's a leaf, and this is where it gets a little, you're like, ooh, is that a leaf? Is that the flower? You gotta look at this. See our petals, and do quick coloring. But this set will be available on May 6th. That you'll be able to purchase this through the online store. Make sure if you haven't, because you know our point system is changing. So for earning rewards, you all starting the 15th, for every $20 you spend, you're going to get 10% back in rewards to use on a future purchase. And that way it will be in, I think it's going to be in your system, you know, in your account. So make sure you've got all your information on your account with Stampin' Up is up to date and everything. But you'll start, so the host rewards go away. I'm just going to come back and add some more dark. The host rewards are going away, so you all will be able to get your points and for every $20 you spend. So I think that's probably that's a good thing. I personally think that. So that way you can keep track of your points and then redeem them on your purchases. They're good for a year. And now if you have another demonstrator and they put an order in for you, depending on what they're going to do, they can gift, or somebody can gift you points. Your rewards, you can be gifted, and those only last 90 days. So just keep that in mind. All right, now I'm coming in with my soft sea foam, and this is the dark. I'm going to come in and do the same thing and just try to do some highlights around the veins. So just keep that in mind, but do make sure that you've got your account set up and you've opted in to get the information and all that stuff from Stampin' Up, and you'll be good to go. You'll start earning points for all your orders. So you can't beat that, right? Whoopsie. So we're going to start rewarding you for shopping, basically is what it is, right? Okay. All right, so we're moving right along. And don't you love this color? I just think this is really pretty. I wasn't too keen on this petal pink when it came out. I'm being honest. Let's see. What is that? Is that a leaf? I think this is a leaf. But it kind of grows on you, you know, when you use it. It's not a color I use all the time, but it does kind of grow. All right. I think we're good. It's just a soft color, right? Okay. So we've got that colored. Now we can start building our card. Let me get my glue up here. All right. So we're going to lay that. I'm going to put this here for now until I figure out what I'm going to do. And we're going to put some dimensionals. Yeah, we're going to put dimensionals on here. I have to stop and think what I did. I was making cards for my class. I have one class a month I do through our Shell Point Academy, learning, whatever it's called, Academy. And I hadn't did anything. Yesterday we had a couple of appointments to go to, and they were a bust. And I was so irritated. I was in a foul mood. I said to my husband, I said, it was a wasted day. We went to go to one meeting, and the fire alarm went off, and they were trying to get all the residents out of one of the buildings. So it was taking so long, we just came home. We said, forget it, we're going home. So that was a waste. And then we bought walking poles, and they call it poling. And my friend said, you pole, you know, like pole dancing. I said, no, we're not pole dancing, we're pole walking. But they're supposed to be good for your arms and strength and health and all that stuff. And we're going out west, so we figured we could use those when we go hiking. So anyways, and that was kind of a waste because the lady had already told us that before. So we really didn't learn anything new. So anyways, I was stressed trying to get these cards done. So I was working on these cards and my cards for my class and all that other stuff. So it's been a quite busy day. All right, this one, I'm going to lay this down. I'm going to put some adhesive on it. And we're going to lay this down, and then I can place my flower on top of this where I want it to go. All right, so we're going to put this at an angle. I'm going to put him up just a tad, I think. Let's see. And then this one, yeah, that'll work. And then I'm going to put this one, I think I'm going to put it right about like that. I could bring it over a little bit. Let's see. We want to hide that. We'll hide that with the thing. I always talk to myself in case y'all didn't know. My husband never knows before. He never knew. He said, I don't know if you're talking to me or to the dog. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and pop this one down. And then I'm going to start tucking in the little green pieces that I cut out. I got four. I should have had three, but I cut four out. Whatever. We're going to use three of them probably. All right, so let me go ahead and lay this guy down where I want him. I don't want to cover up that little thing. I think that looks good. We'll go like that. All right, now this one, we're going to put some glue on here. Let me pop out the little pieces that I neglected to pop out earlier. So let me just do that real quick. And we're just going to add these wherever we have a space that we want to fill. So, all right. So let me know when we get done if you like these cards and if there was a particular one you liked. So let's add some adhesive to this little guy. Whoopsie. Oh, Lord, that's a lot. All right, we'll put a little bit there. He got a little heavy-handed. And this one, I'm going to place that one. I think I'm going to tuck it right under here because I can get under that. I'm going to place him right about here. I got a little bit too much glue on it. I'll have to wipe him off. All right, we're going to put that one there. And then this one, let's see, what do we want to do? I'm going to put one down towards the bottom because he looks kind of naked too. So let's put a few dots on here. All right, and this one, we're going to tuck under. I might cut his, no, we got it. That'll work. Let's put him right about there. All right, so we got that. Oops, I got that one right there. We need to move that out of the way. See, I should have cut that little guy off. Hang on, I'm going to snip this right here. Hang on. There we go. I'm going to snip him. I don't want him showing. Do we need another one? Let's see. We have two. Do you think we should put another one on here? I think that's enough, don't y'all? Do y'all think that's enough? I don't think I need one. Do I want one here? What do y'all think? Is that too much? I think that's too much. What do y'all think? Hi, Diane. How are you? Okay, I think I'm going to just put the two, unless I put one over here. No, I don't think I need one over here. Do I? Do I need one up here, you guys? I don't know. I think that's kind of like a little overdue. I think that's going to overdo it. I don't want to do that. I think I'm just going to leave the two. Less is more, right? Isn't that what they say? All right, so we're going to go ahead and add this to the front of our card. All right, so this is our beige. Make sure I got my card opening the right direction. And then this is going to give us a little bit of a border all around. So I'm going to lift this up again so I can get it positioned. I just love this card. Isn't this pretty? All right, and then I'm taking a little scrap and we're going to add that to the bottom of our inside piece to bring that paper in. And I always cut these just a tad longer so that I can trim them off. That way I know it's going to go paid, end to end. So I'm going to line that up and we'll just trim this piece off right here. There we go. All right. Okay, and then we'll put that on the inside of our card, and then this card will be ready to go. All right, so we're going to lay that right there and get him right there. There we go. All right, I think that was pretty good, and we are right on time too. Let me, I don't want to toss those. Okay, so let's show you the cards that we did. What do you think? Do you like these? Is this something that you might have to have? Is this something that I'm going to, is this something that you might have to have and you can't live without? So, all right, there you go. Isn't that gorgeous? I just love these cards. And then if you came in late, this is what we did on the inside of this card. We stamped the little corner flower, and you could bring it down off the corner of the white if you want, but I kind of like it like that. I could have brought it over a little bit more, but since I was using my ink pad for my block. And then this one here, I just love these. I just think they're so pretty. All right, I hope you all enjoyed this. Oh, Linda, thank you so much. Hey, Shar, how are you? I haven't seen you in a long time. Okay, everyone. This is the soon to be available May 6th Gallery Blooms stamp set and coordinating dies. And if I can help you with anything, please reach out and let me know. Those that ask for the newsletter, I'll get that link to you by tomorrow morning if that's okay. And if you want a catalog and you're not working with a demonstrator, just leave a comment catalog and I'll send you the form to fill out and I'll try to get those out by next week. All right, everybody, thank you so much for spending your Tuesday with me. I greatly appreciate it. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, let me check my calendar real quick. I think Friday, let me check Friday's date. I think Friday is our creation anticipation. Oh, no, it's not. Nope, it's not. No, it's not. What is it? No, we don't have anything this week. Okay, never mind. I lied. So, all right. Thanks, everyone. I greatly appreciate you spending your time with me. Have a great weekend, and I will see you next Tuesday. And that you will be able to see my face. All right. Thanks again, everyone. Talk to you soon. Bye now.